Bethesda drops a bunch of Fallout news. The director of Marathon quits. GameStop doesn't care about physical games. And Black Flag Resynced is off to a good start.
Ooh, do I get to do it?
Yeah.
Oh, welcome back to Inside Games, the only show brave enough to report that Bethesda has finally given Fallout fans what they've been waiting for. More Fallout. Get excited.
I mean, hold on now. They just announced it, Brian. They didn't give it to us, okay?
More Fallout announcements. Okay, good at it.
That's right. All right, so let's get into it. Bethesda just dropped a whole lot of Fallout news, actually. The studio confirmed Friday that Fallout 5 is officially in pre-production. I think most people knew that. Obsidian Entertainment is developing a new game set in the Fallout universe. That's a confirmation of a rumor. And remasters of both Fallout 3 and Fallout New Vegas are on the way. All stuff I think we sort of knew but had never heard Bethesda acknowledge, sort of.
Yes, a ton of smoke, but finally confirmation. So we Fallout fans are definitely eating on a Friday. So this came in the form of a lengthy update outlining the future of Fallout, and Bethesda said it remains one of our biggest priorities today, and said multiple projects are currently in active development.
Yeah, that's right. The company also confirmed a new Fallout 76 expansion that'll serve as a prequel to Fallout 3, which is super cool. As far as release windows for any of the games, well, Bethesda also stressed not announcing any dates because they never do.
The date will start with 23 and then add your own number after that.
Yeah, geez.
But yeah, the biggest surprise is the return of Obsidian, of course, the studio behind New Vegas. Bethesda confirmed it's once again partnering with the developer on a new Fallout, following reports earlier this month, like Bruce said, that the studio had been tapped to work on the series after all of the layoffs that went on with Microsoft.
Franchise director Todd Howard told Bloomberg he, quote, could not be more excited to work with Obsidian again, which is good to hear, while adding that Bethesda wants to be more transparent with fans without revealing projects too early, because Todd Howard will randomly reveal a project and then not reveal it or not announce it or show anything for 8 years. So
I feel like announcing shit way too early is now just a hallmark of Bethesda. Like, it's going to be a little buggy on launch, and they're going to have announced it 20 years before it released. But yeah, they not surprisingly said Elder Scrolls 6 remains their primary development focus, and that a majority of the team are currently working on the long-awaited RPG. Makes total sense.
There's a lot of stuff to talk about here, Brian. The first and foremost is really interesting. I've seen a lot of people credit Asha Sharma, Microsoft CEO, as to being like, finally, they're putting pressure on Bethesda to like announce this. Like they basically had a gun to their head to be like, you've got to talk about the games that you're going to do. And I will say that is true. Weirdly, when Phil Spencer was there, I think Phil Spencer just took a laissez-faire attitude and would be like, hey, you know what? Whenever you want to put a Fallout out, go right ahead. It's no rush. And now it is absolutely a rush because that Xbox brand is not doing well.
Yeah, I do. For all of the anti-corporate tone that we take a lot of the times here, very justifiably, I do think there is a benefit to having a boss up on top kind of keeping you going, keeping your feet to the fire a little bit. I think that sometimes that is needed in development. And yeah, I think Fallout, this should have happened a year ago. Like, Fallout has never been hotter with the series. And in fact, I think it's probably, maybe it's already past its peak, because I felt like that first season was so good, but better late than never. I'm glad they're doing it.
Yeah, you're totally right. And that's the weird thing about those remasters, Fallout 3 and New Vegas. They could have released those years ago and been making a ton of money on those and just keep me. I mean, like it's so weird. I don't understand it. The only thing I can figure is that they really have had a long leash and they've been able to just sort of do whatever they want, which is great, by the way, if you're working at Bethesda. Like, that's pretty great. You're not in any rush. You don't have to worry about crunch, blah, blah, blah. Well, now, unfortunately, since you're owned by Microsoft, you're going to have to save the company.
Yeah. It almost kind of makes me think maybe they should have done Fallout 5 first and then Elder Scrolls 6. But I guess they painted themselves into a corner because they announced Elder Scrolls so long ago. But I feel like Fallout may be the hotter brand, or at least kind of more current. Whatever. We're getting Elder Scrolls 6 first whenever that happens.
Yeah, I mean, who knows what? Geez, I'll be shocked to see those games. All right, let's move on to the next story. More unsettling news from Bungie as Marathon game director Joseph Ziegler announced that today is his last day at the studio.
Yeah, this just happened. Ziegler joined Bungie in 2022, and he shared the news in a statement on X. He said that assistant game director Del Chafe III will take over alongside creative director Julia Nardine.
Yeah, Ziegler said, quote, both of them have been operating in a strong leadership capacity for the team and are ready to guide Marathon into the next chapter with an even better and brighter future. I'm proud of them, and I'm excited to see them helm the future of this crazy little world we've created together.
Ziegler didn't explain why he's leaving, only saying he's headed, quote, to something new, somewhere else, with more details to come soon. Translation, I'm getting the fuck out of this shit show.
That's right, exactly. In his farewell message, Ziegler thanked players for supporting the game. He wrote, quote, I just want to say a deeply heartfelt thank you to all of you for supporting me and Marathon in our windy mission to bring a dark and terrifying space survival frontier to your screen. The mission will continue in new and surprising ways, so stay tuned for what this team has in store for you.
I liked this. He also reflected on the community's creativity. He said, it's been a pleasure seeing all the stories you've created, all the clever ways you've found to murder robots and one another. So that's sweet.
That is nice, yeah. The announcement comes during a turbulent stretch for Bungie and Marathon, to say the least. In May, Sony reported a $765 million loss tied to Bungie's underperformance.
And last month, of course, Sony announced significant layoffs at Bungie, saying they affected most of the Destiny team and some Marathon team members. Reports indicated nearly 300 employees at their Bellevue, Washington office were impacted.
Despite those challenges, Bungie says development continues under its new leadership as Marathon is expected to launch Season 3 in September. And since Lawrence isn't here, Lawrence would be talking about how great Marathon is because he loves it. He plays it a lot. And it is good to see that the game is still going. That is something that I was hoping for Marathon. I didn't want to see this go the way of Concord.
Yeah, I'm hopeful it gets more of a shot because I do think there's the bones there of something really cool, and I hope for Bungie and most importantly for the people who work at Bungie in the trenches to have a successful game so they can keep their jobs. So yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, let's move on to the next story. GameStop is not worried about Sony going all digital. So after Sony announced it's ending the PlayStation disc production, you might expect GameStop to be panicking, but according to CEO Ryan Cohen, who always says something weird, let me tell you. He said it's a non-issue. There you go.
That's right. We're still holding our stockholders. We still got our stock. Just kidding. Speaking of Bloomberg, Cohen called Sony's move totally irrelevant and said physical games simply aren't a major part of GameStop's business anymore.
Okay. Ryan Cohen said software, it mattered in the past. Software today makes up less than 12% of the GameStop business, and collectibles make up over half the business. So it's totally irrelevant.
I don't know if 12% of your business is irrelevant. Just like that's... but yeah, GameStop has increasingly shifted away from relying on physical game sales. If you've been in a GameStop, you've seen with collectibles like Pokemon cards now making up a much larger share of the business.
So according to Bloomberg, software accounts for about 18% of GameStop sales, while collectibles make up 41%.
Cohen also said GameStop earned $143 million during the first quarter of 2026, which he called the highest operating earnings in the company's history.
Well, there you go. GameStop's going to turn into a Pokemon company now.
That's pretty
Nintendo
much,
might just buy GameStop and sell cards through GameStop. Who knows?
I think what he's saying, I guess, makes sense, but still, like if your sales went down 18%, that would be massive and a disaster. So, but yeah, he's clearly trying to position it to, toys and collectibles. And you know what? We'll see what happens.
That's right. Let's move on to the next story. Ubisoft announced that Assassin's Creed Black Flag Resynced has now sold more than 3 million copies in its first week after launching on July 9th.
That is up from the 2 million copies they said it sold on day one. And according to Ubisoft, the remake has seen player sentiment improve since launch. They like it better.
Oh, wow. Okay. Steam user reviews have climbed to very positive, which the publisher credited to post-launch bug fixes, quality of life updates, and the recent announcement of a highly requested New Game Plus mode.
And if you're wondering, they dropped an interesting factoid. Since Assassin's Creed as a franchise debuted in 2007, it is now sold more than 250 million games worldwide. So pretty impressive.
Boy, that's crazy. When we reported on this a few days ago about how a lot of people hated Assassin's Creed Black Flag over the weekend, there was a bunch of hate threads. There really were. It was interesting to see the comments on our episode, because the comments on our episode was like, I haven't heard about this at all. I was playing the game and loving it. And then I saw a lot of other people being like, I fucking hate Ubisoft. They're the worst. No offline mode. I'm tired of it. And I was like, and it was so funny to see people be like, there's no hate for it. And I was like, if you look one comment above, you will see the hate. But it looks like they are swinging positively, which is pretty massive for Ubisoft, I gotta be honest.
Yeah, I saw the same thing. It's like one commenter would be like, it's great. And then it's like, dude, the guy below you is furious and ready to have a stroke. All right, let's do a 5-second review. Okay, somebody recently, I think it was the last Roundup, they wanted a recommendation from me for a good turn-based JRPG. I got you. As the JRPG fan of Inside Games, Trails in the Sky, the first chapter, the remake just released, I think it was last year. This is a classic JRPG, tons of lore. It feels like everyone in every single town you visit has their own storyline that changes over time. It's super immersive. Like, if you just want to spend like 100+ hours, this is your turn-based JRPG, so check it out.
I would have thought that Lawrence was the JRPG fan. He loves JRPGs. Turns out Brian loves JRPGs even more. I can't believe it.
We'll have to thumb wrestle for it.
Yeah, that's right. Let's move on to the games coming up this week. First up, Advent Dawn. 7 strangers, 1 collapsed cave, no escape. A sci-fi mystery visual novel where every route to survival pulls you closer to a different companion and a different lie. Will you unravel the mystery before the cave unravels you? It comes to PC July 20th.
Dewdrop Dynasty. Gun jump your way through a buzzing world full of quirky monsters, tricky puzzles, and outlandish bosses in this fast-paced, lighthearted Metroidvania. Comes to PC July 21st.
Up next is Fading Echo. This is a fast-paced elemental action-adventure RPG where creativity fuels combat. Manipulate water, trigger chain reactions, and shift through surreal worlds as one. A young legend on a mission to save a dying desertscape from the grip of the Paradox corruption. Comes to PC July 21st.
Avatar Legends: The Fighting Game is a fast-paced 1v1 fighter where you battle as your favorite characters from the Avatar franchise. This features hand-drawn 2D animation, true to the series roots, proprietary rollback netcode, that sounds fun, and full cross-play for smooth, competitive gameplay. Comes to the PS5, Xbox Series X and S, and the PC July 25th.
Up next is the coolest video game I've ever heard of, Dino Blade. This is an intense action RPG set in a prehistoric world forever changed by a cataclysmic event. Step into the role of a young Spinosaurus wielding a colossal greatsword. Confront rival dinosaurs, some armed with weapons of their own, all in a desperate fight to prevent a looming extinction. Dino Blade comes to PC July 23rd.
That's awesome. Not since the Dinobot Transformers have I been more into dinosaurs. Up next, Gure, an unforgiving game with precise combat. Fight challenging bosses in any order and acquire their unique powers and succeed on your own terms. That sounds like Mega Man. It comes to PS5, Switch, and the PC July 23rd.
Up next is Tormentum 2. This is a dark, surreal point-and-click adventure, hand-drawn and crafted over 8 years by a true indie team. Explore nightmare worlds, grotesque creatures, and unsettling choices. Comes to PC July 23rd.
And last, but certainly not least, Splatoon Raiders. This is a single-player focused game. You play as a mechanic working with Deep Cut. That's a trio of swashbuckling musicians, and venture out into the mysterious Spiralite Islands. Customize your character, kit yourself out with mechanical gadgets and ink-splattering weapons, and take on waves of enemy salmonids as you raid the islands for treasure. It comes to the Switch 2, July 23rd.
Thank you very much for watching Inside Games Roundup. We do this every single Friday. Usually Lawrence is here, but he is out on vacation. Brian, thank you again for whipping up the script. Fantastic job. And thank you for watching. We do have a little bit of a script here, and then we also improvise a lot as well, just in case you're wondering. Some of it's written, some of it's improvised. And if you like our show and like what we do, you can subscribe to the YouTube channel. We also have a Patreon. If you want to support that Patreon, we're able to make more content the more people support on the Patreon. So thank you very much to the people that support on that Patreon right now and for watching the Inside Games Roundup. Have a great weekend.